Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Grounded. So, I'm still having a blast at this game. There's a lot to do, even though I've covered everything on how to deal with all the insects. We've done a little bit of a beginner tutorial, covered some of the weapons, resources, and stuff like that. So, I kind of want to continue a little bit more, kind of do a part 2 on the beginner tips and tricks and stuff. In my tier 2 insect axe and insect hammer, I covered one thing that's really useful, and that's just using the hammer to stun, because it does have the best stun of anything in the game. It's maxed out on stun. So if you get into a sticky situation with any of the insects, bop them on the head with that. It gives you a few seconds to get into a better position to kill them, or just run away and get safer. A little bit more with base building on this one. So we've covered with the ant armor
Feeling a little safer now.
what you get out of that. Then I want to go change mutations too. So when I'm doing my resource collecting, depending on if I'm getting weeds or grass stems or clay or pebbles or anything like that, you'll switch between rock cracker and grass master. I typically run with cardio fan and natural explorer, just so you get that quickness and the stamina boost with those. The thing with the ant armor, like we've said, we can pick up 8 different stems or planks. And I know there is a smoothie that will give you a little buff for a short time to where you can carry 10, but that's not what I want to focus on. So when I'm going out to do my resource gathering, so let's say we're gonna go get some grass. So instead of just going and cutting down, grass and picking up 8 at a time, what you can do is actually just bring one of these pallets with you. I probably should have done the stems because they're right there. But so over here at my pond base, when I was building, this is the place where I went to gather resources. And before I figured this little trick out, I was literally cutting everything down, putting it in a nice little pile over there, and taking them back and forth 8 at a time. So the pallet here will carry 24 total grass planks. We got one sitting here. So when you come over here and start cutting them down, and see, once you get the insect axe and the grass master, just 2 chops, so you can cut them all down. Just go ahead and pick them all up. And instead of getting your 8 and running them back and forth to the base, just load them up right here. Say once you get that filled up, then you can carry 8. I'll show you that too. So you can actually carry some while you're still moving that pallet. So this makes your base building and anything else that you're building a lot quicker. So see, I'm just gonna, for example, so you can carry your 8 planks on your shoulder while you're also moving the pallet. So that way you'll be able to move the 32 planks all at once. So that way, and the more pallets you have, fill one up and then grab an empty one, come back out and repeat the process. Makes it a lot quicker, especially when you're building something like that big tower I built up there. The same thing goes with stems. So real easy to do there. Put those in there. One more thing, when it comes to the insect parts, I wanted to cover this because I didn't talk about it before. So sometimes when you're just starting out, it can be really difficult to handle the stink bugs or the orb weavers or, some of the more difficult insects when you're just starting out. So we know the web sacks. If you guys are anywhere near some of the orb weaver spawn locations, you can actually get insect parts out of the web sacks. You can get the web fibers, and you can also get stink bug parts. You can get ant parts, and I guess that's just a little extra something, so you're looking at, the insect, the environment, and the ecosystem on how they fight one another for dominance or what have you, however they want to spin it. But so over here near the oak tree, there are some orb weavers. So we've got one right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill this orb weaver if he gets close, and then we'll take out the web sacks and see what we get out of there. Well, he's right there for now. He's gonna come over. Get our mint mallet, we'll go ahead and stun. He's just gonna take it. Nice. Alright, so... And also with the webs, if you guys get stuck in these, go to a few whacks with your knife or your axe, you'll get out of here. So sometimes you'll see spiderlings come out of these. We'll go ahead and cut into these and see what we get. There's a spiderling, a couple spiderlings. Oh, 3 of them. Alright, well, you guys are kind of hurting me here. Okay. Anyway, dealing with those. So there was nothing in that web sack, just spiderlings. But you can get your web fibers from them, so it's a little bit, it's worth it. Let me go ahead and heal up here. Get a wolf spider coming up behind me or something. I'll go ahead and cut into this one and see what we get. What do we have? Nothing. Alright, well that's a poor example right there. But when you're cutting into those, sometimes you will get stink bug parts, ant parts, and stuff like that. So if you need to go, you know, make a new gas mask, say you went in the haze and yours got deteriorated and you need a new one, but you don't really want to go mess with the stink bugs, go find some of the web sacks like that. I know there's a bunch over in the hedge too. Go over there, you can cut into them and get some insect parts that way too. I already covered just a few things for the PC controls on how to change your perspective, your point of view. So if you just hit U, you'll go in first person. Switch out to go in third person. What else do we have? I went over the hammer with the stun. Went over some base building. Oh, just one more little quick thing here. So it's got your, just a little quick tip here. It goes quicker. So instead of hitting space to deactivate and activate a mutation, you just go ahead and double click. You can activate and deactivate them too. Just little things like that. One thing with the mutations too, make sure that you're in water. You know, you're switching these up depending on the scenario that you're in. So if you're in base building, you're going to want to make sure you've got stuff to build up your stamina. If you're collecting resources, depending on whether it's grass or rock or anything like that, make sure you're switching these up. If you're going underwater, make sure you got Mertine. It's going to provide you the swim speed and junior diver bonus. What else? Go over some of the typical things that I run around with. You kind of see it in my inventory there. And this is whether you're base building, gathering resources, if you're going out to hunt insects. These are kind of things you should always have in your inventory. Just let me get out here to a safe spot. I don't get a wolf spider coming up behind me because I know they're probably upset. I kind of blocked out like 2 or 3 of the entrances over there at the oak tree. So a lot of times I'll run around with my hammer and axe, just depending on what I'm doing. But those are typically always in my inventory. So this is usually what I roll around with.
Safe? Safer.
Let's see that. Bring this back. So I usually always have my mint mace, my main weapon. Lately I've been running with the stinger spear. I actually need to make a real one of these. And the weevil shield, because I've been experimenting just with the coup de grace and the critical hit chance bonuses. I got the crow crossbow here. You guys may or may not be able to do that now that you have the insect axe to be able to cut down the crow feathers. Let's go ahead and look at that. So there's a lot of talk about whether it's the insect bow is better or the crow crossbow. Crow crossbow has the damage, a little bit lower stun, and pretty terrible speed. But typically when I'm doing ranged attacks, I'm going to be a little higher than the insect that I'm fighting, you know, so I'm not going to be really getting attacked, so it's okay to have that lower speed. Some guys will, or some players will go for the insect bow just because it does have the speed, the reload time and everything. It's really up to your whichever one you want, your preference. I don't really use any of the gas lure arrows or anything like that. Typical arrows with the feather arrows, or they're just the regular arrows. but I always have a crossbow just for ranged attack. These are the Canteen Pluses, which I think you can unlock by swapping out points, raw science for with Burgle. So it's going to allow you to carry 4 drops of water rather than 2 from a regular canteen. Always carry some meat. The jerky, it will dehydrate you, but you can run around with this in your inventory and never have to worry about the food spoiling. If I know I'm going to be traveling during the nighttime, I always carry a torch. The torch plus just lasts longer. And if I'm doing resource collecting, obviously I'm going to have the ant armor with me on that. And I still keep the ladybug armor with me. In case I get attacked, I'll try to switch over to the ladybug armor real quick. Dandelion tuft, you never want to fall to your death. So always have a dandelion tuft or go collect a bunch, throw them in a storage chest for a while, swap them out when you need to. Really handy so you're not taking any fall damage. And that's pretty much it. So again, set up your mutations depending on what activity you have planned for that time. Make sure you've got weapons. Make sure you're collecting a lot of quartzite and the berry leather, because you never know when you're going to have to repair. Base building, you can never have enough storage too. So set them up how you want. Anything, if I'm out just running around, I might pick up some resources here and there if I know I need some, and just throw them in my chest here. The other things you're going to want, you're going to get a lot of web fiber, and you're going to need a lot of silk rope, especially once you get to the point of crafting zip lines. So having these spinning wheels is really valuable. Set these in there and then run off. Once you come back, they're typically done. Doesn't take long. Obviously, you still use a roasting spit if you need that fresh food. I usually run with 2 different dew collectors. You might only need 1, but a lot of times when I'm using the Canteen Pluses, if I'm using a lot of that water, then I need to refill those and then probably have some water for myself as well. Jerky Racks, if you're out and you're just running around and you're able to kill a lot of weevils and aphids and stuff like that, I've got 3 up here that I'll just come in here, throw the food on there. We got an aphid on there. And then pick it up anytime I decide to stop back at the base. I think that's going to be it for this video. That's some of the basics. Armor dummies are really good. Just set these up instead of using your storage chests for the armor. Yeah, I think that's it. I'll do some more on base building and stuff like that for beginners, and then maybe a little bit more intermediate skill set as well. That's for another video. So that's just a few more tips for the beginner parts of the game. Just some little tips and tricks too. I mean, with the double click for the stat or the mutations and stuff. Using the hammer to stun people or stun the insects to get out of the sticky situation. And yeah, that's it. So we'll cover a lot more. There's a lot more in this game to go over. We've got smoothies. We've got some more actual gameplay to do, complete markers, burgle quests. I want to do a quick little video on that, but we'll get into that down the road. I'm taking up too much of your time anyway. So thanks for watching again, guys. If you're new and you're enjoying the content, thinking about hitting that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, and we will see all you guys in the next video. Later.